Big welcome everyone, hope everybody's having a fabulous day. Big welcome to Instagram, Facebook, YouTube and TikTok. Hope you're all watching in. So what I'd love you to do is, if you're watching, comment below and let me know where you're watching in from, and you know the usual, we need to know what is the weather like. If you're watching this on the replay, we'd still appreciate you doing that as well. And the main reason is, it's to kind of fool the algorithm, or work with the algorithm, I suppose is the right word, is that when Facebook or Instagram or Meta, which is basically the chief of chiefs, when they realise that people are interacting with it, they allow our videos to be shown or seen by more people. So we really would appreciate it. Another thing, any chance to click and share? You've been very mean the last few weeks there. I keep asking, any chance to click and share with our videos, because it obviously comes up and I can see 2 people shared or 3 people shared. So I really would appreciate if you could share our videos and again help us get the word out there. So what are we planning today? Today I'm going to do a hat box with you. But aren't these gorgeous? These are like little heart-shaped hat boxes, and we picked these up in one of them, like Pounds World walk around sort of shops, Euro shops. And again, I suppose they're selling them in that you could fill them up yourself with a little bit of straw and maybe put gift items into it. They were very inexpensive and yet they're really strong. Now I added that lollipop stick on myself. I just made a little slit there in the end, and then I kind of pointed the top of the lollipop stick. I'm not sure if you can see it in the video. And by the way, you'll get the lollipop sticks in the walk around shops as well. I just inserted the lollipop stick and I secured it with a little bit of anchor tape, and that's the inside of the box. But they're really strong. I was very pleased with them. So what I'm going to use is a bulb bowl. Everybody always says I must pronounce that really bad. What did she say? And always, if we have the captions on, it always comes up a different word altogether. So bulb as in plant your daffodil bulb, plant your tulip bulb. So B-U-L-B. Bulb bowls is the name of these. And I just found, do you know what I mean, it was perfect for going inside it. And if you haven't got a hat box, so you could just make the arrangement directly into a container or any container you happen to have in the house. I find 2/3 of a block of floral foam works out ideal. I just was being prepared there. I had the kitchen towel ready just to take up the surplus water for me. So 2/3 of a block, and normally what I do is I take the kind of like bare corners off it, and it just helps to kind of slide down into that roundy container. But the piece of floral foam that I have left over, the 1/3 of a block, I'm cutting that in half. These are deadly little knives, by the way, and they're little Oasis knives, and we have them here at the school. We sell them in packets of 5 because you'll always lose one. Or I find when I gather up the rubbish off the table, a knife goes missing in the packet. But I think there is it €10 plus the postage, Deirdre, something like that. Now. Can't remember the exact price, but they're very reasonable.
But if you're interested, comment knife underneath, and I'll put the link to them there.
There you go. Put knife in the comments underneath.
But you know what I love them for?
Cut tomatoes.
The strawberries.
Oh, the strawberries. Okay. I haven't really started cutting the strawberries yet. I haven't got to that far. But I use it for cutting up tomatoes or cucumber or something small like that. Do you know what I mean?
And Dad has them all at home for peeling the potatoes. He loves them.
Can he peel the potato with that? Oh no, I have a special peeling knife. What about the rest of you? Do you have a special knife for peeling potatoes? So what I'm going to do is, with them 2 smaller pieces of floral foam, I'm going to sit them down. I just need to cut this one a little bit smaller just so it'll fit. I'm going to fit them down into the end of the container. I often call them wedgies, okay? And this piece, rather than just leaving it there, I'm just going to force it down there as well, because you know what? It'll just get thrown in the bin. It's not going to be used for anything. So I'm just shoving it down there, down the sides. And then my 2/3 of a block will just fit down, just see, on top of that. And this is why I had the kitchen towel, because I knew I'd make a little bit of a mess there to dry that off. And then you're going to get your anchor tape. And if you haven't got anchor tape, like sellotape would probably do the job as well. So a little bit of tape going across that, secured onto the container, just to keep it, the floral foam, secure in your dish. Now what I would recommend you to do, even though that floral foam is full of water, do you see the little bit of space that I have left on either side of the floral foam? Get a jug of water or a bottle of water and pour on top of the floral foam really slow. What a lot of people do is they just pour it straight into the container, but then the floral foam has to soak it up. It's already soaked, okay? With a certain amount of water, you see, that's why the table was wet. A certain amount amount of water runs out of it. So if you, when you're watering, and this goes for flower arrangements as well, get a small bottle of water and very slowly pour the water on top of the floral foam. And that way then you're letting the floral foam absorb more water. The surplus water will spill out and fill up the dish, and keep pouring the water on top until near enough that the edge of the dish is full. Don't do it too long. What'll happen, it'll start to overflow. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to sit this dish down into the hat box container. Now some people might say to me, would you use something to secure it down there? I'm not going to. It's going to be quite heavy. I feel it's not going to wobble around, you know what I mean, because of the shape of the bowl is kind of fitting in there for me. But if you were using a bigger container than what I'm using today, and you found that your dish was moving around, get rolled up newspaper, rolled up brown paper, rolled up wallpaper, rolled up cellophane or plastic bags, whatever, and just kind of like pack around the sides, like the space that's in, you see on either side of your bowl, pack that in, and that'll stop it budging.
I just double checked the price of the knives, and they're actually 15. But seeing you've said that they were a tenner for 24 hours, if they use the code knife, they'll get them for €10.
But there you go. You can't do any better than that. So if you use the word knife, you'll get them for a tenner plus the postage.
Plus the postage,
okay?
yeah.
Where I made a mistake and I thought they were a tenner, but they're actually 15. But you're getting 5 knives, you know, that way.
Yeah.
So if the tenner, you're getting them for €2 a knife. That's for nothing. That's an Oasis floral knife, you know, that way. So it's absolutely for nothing. Now, starting here, right? Today's arrangement, I was kind of saying, you know, a lot of you go and you buy a bunch of flowers for yourself, or maybe you get a gift of a bunch of flowers and you have it in your vase and everything is honky-dory. And then you start changing the water and some of the stems are starting to get a little bit slimy. And what I'm trying to say is that you have what we call leftover flowers, okay? So what I'm showing you today, because that's what I actually have here on the table, is what I call leftover flowers. So they're flowers that was in vases, you know, I cut them short, kind of cleaned them down, you know, the way, or flowers that maybe I broke, or whatever the story is, you know what I mean. They're basically flowers that are kind of like lying around. Now this greenery that I'm using here, this light and airy greenery, this is called soft ruscus. Now the Irish green guys down in Kerry, they actually have that growing. You might be able to buy it off them at the moment because it's still the growing season and it's growing like mad. We got this out Deirdre's garden, but like when it gets a little bit later, another couple of weeks, they will be growing it. I definitely recommend buying it off them because it's a great lasting foliage.
I don't know if he sells it, but I would love if there was garden centres watching that are selling it or could get it in. Because I think every florist
should have them growing. Yeah. Now they do take a couple of years to get going. So if there is any garden centres watching there, what would be the chances of you getting in soft ruscus plants? We will do the promotion for you. I'll do a mail out even to all our past students and tell them that you're selling it. You know what I mean? Or is there anybody watching there and saying, actually, we have them for sale already? Let us know. Give us a ring. Drop us an email here at the school or put it in the comments there. But as I said, today I'm mostly working with garden foliage. So this is rosemary from the garden and the scent of this is absolutely fabulous. Now you can see there's no real shape nor make, you know what I mean, on this kind of particular design. I'm just like cutting everything kind of short and random, you know what I mean, cleaning down the stems, you know what I mean, before I stick it in, and I'm just going around like the top, the sides. It's given a little bit everywhere in the arrangement.
Sorry, Janette, Annabelle's just saying, is there any foliage that you wouldn't use?
Well, like say with this one, or well, to be honest, okay, I'll start again. Janette, action, replay, start again. I definitely wouldn't use Leylande. Leylande or Q-presses, to me, that is a funeral foliage. And I know a lot of people have that grown in their gardens, and a lot of people in the country have that grown in their garden, okay? I would never use it for flower arranging or for bridal work or event, decoration or hand-tied bouquets. To me, it's a funeral foliage. Most flower shops associate with funerals. It's not religious, it's nothing to do with the priests or getting buried or anything like that. The reason we associate it with funerals is in the past, okay, and for the last 100 years, flower shops have used that greenery in funeral wreaths all the time. One of the main reasons they use it is that it's cheap, it's plentiful, you can forage it, and it also lasts for ages. So a lot of flower shops, you know, in Ireland, when somebody dies, a funeral is quite fast. We would have a lot of followers here watching from the UK, and I'm not sure any other country, but maybe give me a bit of information in the comments about what the
the norm.
The norm is in your country, but I know in the UK, if somebody dies, they may not get buried for 2 weeks or even 3 weeks, okay? Where in Ireland, if you die today, you'll get buried in about 2 days' time, 3 at the latest, okay? So what happens in flower shops is you get customers coming in and they're literally going to the funeral and they're saying, can I order a wreath now? Can I buy a wreath now? Can I order 5 wreaths for tomorrow morning? Or for later on this evening. So flower shops in Ireland often don't get a lot of notice. So what they always do is they have wreaths greened up in advance. Well, I often say they're on spec. Person hasn't even got a cough, a cold or a sniffle, do you know that way? But we know somebody's going to die in 2 or 3 days time. So in a flower shop we would have the wreaths greened up in advance, on spec, that your man down the road that's coughing and sniffling and all the rest will pass on to a happier place or whatever, and we'll get the orders, but we'll be on the ball and we'll be prepared. And that's basically why we use Q-press foliage. Now I know the question was, what would you not use? So definitely don't use that. Another one, like I love laurel. Like laurel is a brilliant foliage, but it's quite a big leaf, so I wouldn't use it in this size arrangement because it'd be too overpowering. So again, I'd probably, as a bit of advice, I'd say big leaf, big arrangement, small leaf, small arrangement. Or as I often say in our house, big man, big dinner, little man gets a little dinner. Little man has little feet, big man has big feet. Big feet means big shoes means big socks. Do you get the story? I won't go any further, use your imagination. Has that answered that question?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, what I have here is some of, you know, my favourite, Silver Sussex, okay, or Sussex Silver. And again, a lot of garden centres sell this, and Sussex Silver is the right name, but we call it Silver Sussex. Now this is actually Silver Jubilee, to confuse you even more, and you see the way it has the little flower on it. And again, certain times of the year, you won't get that all the year, but certain times of the year it gets the little flower on it and it's absolutely beautiful. I've only got one bit with a little flower on it, that's the other end of it. But you can see the way I'm still able to use it. And that's the flower when it actually starts to mature and starts to dry out on the tree in your garden. Well, you can then pick it, and then if you hang it upside down, it'll dry. But again, I just love the colour of it. Again, it's just going to give me a little bit of texture. So you can see there, no pattern, no system, do you know the way? Just jamming the stuff in. If you never did flower arranging in your life, you'd be well able to do this. So using up our offcuts and our leftovers. Fabulous peony, okay, so we're just going to stick that peony in there. There's another beautiful peony, we'll stick that peony in there. We have a couple of roses, okay, so we're going to stick maybe a rose over there. We're going to cut this one a bit shorter. We're going to stick a rose over there, and we're going to stick a rose over there.
Rita's just asking, she says, why are you showing us all this if it's what's covered on your courses?
Well, this isn't covered on our courses. Anything that I do as our demonstrations, none of it 100% is replicated on our courses. And the amount of people who come to me and say, do you know what, I think I'll enroll onto module 2 because I've watched all your videos on YouTube and I feel I'm ready to go onto YouTube. Now my answer to that is, do you see how much you learned off me for free? I didn't charge you 1 penny, and look how much you've learned of me. Can you imagine how much I can teach you when you actually pay me, when I'm actually getting a wage out of it? So no, this is all just little tasters, okay? This is just giving you the bug. This is sorting out the viewers that are watching there who does want to, you know what I mean, train to be a florist or do flowers more professionally. Like a lot of people that would come to us and they say, God, I love doing flowers and I do them at home myself, but I'm not making any money on it. But what if you do want to make money on it? But this is a very casual flower arrangement. You see, I'm not doing any kind of like rules or guidelines or set proportions where you should put the flowers, but there is lots and lots of rules and guidelines which I do obviously cover as part of our professional programs.
And actually, is it on module 1, Janette, that we give them the opportunity to get a free hat box course?
That's right.
Where
yeah.
I think there's 5 or 6 different hat boxes.
So we have what we call standalone courses. We have our professional courses and then we have our standalone courses. And standalone courses are, we just say somebody watching there says, do you know what, I'd love to learn how to do funeral sprays. After talking about all the funerals in Ireland there, I'd love to learn how to do funeral sprays, but I'm not interested in anything else. Just 3-foot funeral sprays, 5-foot funeral sprays, 6-foot funeral sprays, double-ended funeral sprays, single-ended funeral sprays, and mock hand type funeral sprays. That's all I want to learn. I have a stand-alone course, and it covers everything I just mentioned, from where to buy the stuff, how many flowers to use, mechanics, techniques, exactly, and you can watch me in live time, step by step, but I won't be talking to you, the public. I'll be just teaching, and it's step by step exactly how to do it. So we also have another standalone course where I teach about 5 different versions of hand-tied bouquet, hat boxes is what I meant to say. So 5 or 6 versions of different hat boxes, but not this one. This one isn't on it because I just picked up this particular hat box the other day in Pounds World, or whatever the name of the shop was. And again, when I'm doing the hat boxes with you as a course, I kind of do it that little bit more professional, rather than saying just feck the flowers in any old way and just hope for the best. So when our students do module 1, we give them the option where they can actually get the hat box course for free. But if somebody was watching there and they said, God, I'd love to learn how to do 5 or 6 different versions of hat boxes for spring, summer, autumn, winter, wedding season, etc. Well, they could just buy that hat box course. But when they're on the module 1, they actually get an option to get it for free. We offer like loads of freebies. Like when I was talking to a student there today on the phone, and she done courses with me a couple of years ago, but she was asking questions about wholesalers and suppliers and so on. And I said, like, are you not in the Bloom Studio? And she said, what's the Bloom Studio? And I said, all our students, our past students, when they graduate, so when they have finished all their training, they graduate into the Bloom Studio. And when they're in the Bloom Studio, there's absolutely no, I don't know how we make money, because everything we do is for free, but they have the option to get free mentoring from me. So again, any questions or any queries or any problems that they're having. But we also give them the option where they can actually attend the courses again for free. So they can go back and do module 1, go back and do module 2. And then, like on our website, we have, this is just lavender, I took this out of the garden as well. On our website we have, just looking for a couple of small hydrangeas here. Actually, where did you put them smaller
just
hydrangeas?
on the chair here beside you.
Oh,
see.
No. What was I saying there?
In the Bloom Studio.
Oh yeah, so in the Bloom Studio, the students get the option where they can actually go and sit in on the module 1 course again, the module 2 course again. They get the access to the one-to-one WhatsApp with me, and no matter what they have to do, whether it's a wedding or a funeral and they need extra advice on, and we always have extra courses, we're always bringing out new courses. Like at the moment we're just launching our sustainable course. That will be launched very soon. By the way, these are just hydrangeas out of my own garden, and I purposely picked the smaller heads, okay? And what I did, the reason why they were over to one side, was I submerged them in water and I left them there for about 4 hours, completely drowning in the water, and then took them out, you know what I mean? And you find that they're absolutely perfect there, and they're beautiful to add into this arrangement. So you can see, I know there's a lot of flowers in this display, but really and truly it hasn't cost me much to make it, because as I said, the hat box I did buy. The greenery was out of my own garden, do you know that way? The foliage and the greenery was out of my own garden. The lavender I kind of like picked, that actually wasn't in my garden, it was out the woman next door, but she doesn't mind me taking it. So again, it's a way of using up, as I said, leftover flowers or mixed bunches that I might pick up in the shopping centre. We were up in the supermarket there this morning, and where was it, Little or Aldi, Deirdre? That was
Little we were in.
And the amount of flowers that they had, and a fabulous selection and great quality as well. That's just one little bit of status. Just going to make 2 pieces out of it, and again, just to give us a little texture. You can just imagine this on your you know, kitchen table, dining room table, hall table, reception area. Again, like there's a fabulous selection of flowers. I'm just trying to get that Ulster down a little bit lower. Fabulous selection of flowers in them.
Somebody's saying there on YouTube that she said she absolutely loves flower arranging. She doesn't want to do it as a job. She just does it as a hobby for herself, and she didn't realise that we did the standalone courses, so she's going over to have a look.
But you know the other thing that we have, and again this might interest that lady there, you know when you're looking at the professional courses and you might be kind of saying to yourself, oh, I don't really want to do anything professional, I'm not into getting certified,
I have a job,
not into studying, I have a job, I just want to do this as a hobby. We actually have what we would call like an introduction course, right? It'll be coming up very soon, so drop us an email and we can give you more information on it, or even put the word introduction in the comments there and I can give you the link. So the introduction course is a little bit of flower arranging, a little bit of funeral work, a little bit of wedding work, and a little bit of bouquets of flowers. You know what I mean? So we're covering kind of the 4 main topics, where normally our module 1 is all flower arranging, our module 2 is all funeral work and hand-tied bouquets, our module 3 is all wedding floristry, and our module 4 is all event and hotel decoration. So this is a new course that we've put together, and as I said, it's a little taster and sampler out of all 4 modules. Now, we don't supply the flowers and the materials, okay, because as I said, it's a sampler course just to give you a taste of what's actually involved. But every arrangement I do, I go through, well, if you want to copy this, you'll need to buy 3 gerbers, I'm making this up, 3 roses, 2 hydrangeas, 1 peony, 1 stem of this, 1 stem of this. So I do give you a breakdown of exactly what I'm using in each of the displays. I'm just looking for a bit of wax flare there, a little bit of filler. But we also offer what we call the bloom room. So the bloom room, I suppose, is the most successful part of our floristry courses. So it's like a private Facebook group, or I often say a virtual interactive classroom, and it's where our students are made a member, and the only people in the bloom room is the students of, you know, that particular course. And then all them students are given a one-to-one WhatsApp number to me. So throughout the duration of their program, within certain times, okay, they will be able to WhatsApp me with any questions that they have. I'm just looking for any little kind of gaps there for filling in. Any little questions that they have, any queries, any problems, if they want feedback on any designs. This is again another little bit of lavender that I just had left over.
Sorry, Janette, somebody just wanted to know what was the name of that white flower that you've just put in. She missed it.
Oh, this one, wax flower is the name of that. You can get it in other colours. You can get it in lavenders and pinks as well, which is nice. Not the white one wouldn't be my favourite. Just kind of checking around the edge there.
Just there, stop there, and just look underneath there.
This side?
No, just the part that's looking at you. Just go down low and to your left.
Oh,
yeah, right there.
See there, yeah. See there, boss.
Somebody else pointed it out.
Thanks a million. That's what we call our cop-on spots. Our cop-on spots. Fair play to you. Well done. But what were you saying there, David?
What were we saying? Oh, I can't remember. It must have been a lie. I suppose anyone that's watching this, you probably joined in on the event. We will have an event set up for next week for another live class. So please invite people to the event as well. So if you're interested,
what I to do was add in the lid.
Oh, there you go.
Still add it in now anyway.
Yeah, when you see the link for the event, we'd love you to share that out to your friends and family. If you think that they're obviously interested in flowers. If they're not interested in flowers, don't bother sharing it to them, because you're only annoying them otherwise.
There we go. So there's our little heart shape.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
So there is our two-sided, all-rounder, beautiful garden style hat box arrangement. It doesn't have to be a heart shape. As I said, it can be any hat box, any container that you happen to have. And again, that will make a beautiful gift to give to somebody for a happy birthday, happy anniversary, thinking of you. The teachers have probably finished school now at this stage, but next year, you know, thanks for the teachers. Get well soon, thinking of you. Good luck with the leaving cert next year. Congratulations on passing your exam, getting your great results towards the end of the year. You know yourself, this would do for any occasion, but even just for your own house to cheer you up, just to stick it on the table. So you can see there was no specified flowers that you need. There was no specified number of flowers. You could use a lot more greenery and use less flowers if that's what you choose to do. You can leave bigger spaces in between the flowers. I just had absolutely loads, and do you know what? We said, seeing we were charging nothing for the courses, I said no expense being spared on the arrangement either. Let's bang all the flowers into it. So hope you enjoyed that class. If you did enjoy it, tell your friend. If you didn't enjoy it, tell nobody. That's what Maureen Potter used to say. Again, I'd really appreciate if you shared our videos, get the word out there. If anybody has any interest in any of the things, at the beginning we were talking about the knives. Deirdre was offering a €5 discount on these. I said they were €10 a packet. They should have been €15 a packet. But she said if you use the code KNIFE, is it?
Yep.
Use the code KNIFE when you're ordering them, you'll get the €5 off. If you want the link for ordering them, put KNIFE in the comments. If you want the link about the introduction course, that will give you a little bit of flower arranging, bridal work, funeral work and bouquets of flowers, put the word introduction in the comments. Talk to you all very soon.